G'day, it's Joel Rasmussen from Southern Cross Combat, and ahead of his fight at Hex, I'm talking to Mr. Kaleb Rideout. Caleb, thank you very much for the time. It's good to talk to you again. How are you today?
I'm living the dream, mate. It's a pleasure to be here as always.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you. I'm glad to hear that you're living the dream. Why is that? Why are we living the dream today?
Mate, I'm fighting less in 10 days. I'm fighting. So, what kind of, that's the best dream to live, isn't it?
Absolutely. How is it? How is it to be back? We're 10 days out from the fight. It's been a hot second. How is it?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I'm just itching to get back in there. I feel a bit like a bloody fighting addict. I'm just like scratching at the arms. Just can't wait to get back in there, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. And people are excited to see you again. We were just chatting before we started. It's been a hot second since we've spoken. It's been a hot second since people have seen you. Uh, how has the time been away from the sport?
Yeah, it's definitely been hard. Like having so much time off in this sport, like 18 months, like it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. But to get back into it, man, I can't wait. I can't wait. Honestly, we're so close, and I'm ready to go.
As you said, it doesn't sound like a long time, but in reality, it is.
Yeah,
And of course, you have been training. You've been in the training room. It's not like you've been sitting on the couch.
I
But
wish it's so much easier.
exactly, I don't envy you. But still a fight. I know it's not fight week yet, but still that brings its own things. How is it to be back this close to a fight again? How is the feeling?
Mate, it's hard to explain. It's sort of like it's not like a foreign feeling, but it's familiar. Like it's familiar, but it doesn't feel, like I'm back into it. But I'm assuming when it hits fight week, like it's really hitting. Like I'm starting to get the butterflies. I'm starting to get the little tingles in the fingers, ready to go. So, yeah,
As if people don't know, an injury to your ankle sustained during the last fight that you
yeah,
had kept you out, and then it was re-injured. Uh, what happened exactly? What happened to your ankle?
mate. So my first initial injury, against in the Joseph Luciano fight, I ended up snapping my syndesmosis, which is a pretty big ligament in the ankle. And yeah, in the lead up to the Alden Bates fight, it just kept niggling and not. I wasn't getting 100% out of it. I was probably getting about 30-40% out of it, and it was causing me a lot of. It wasn't just much physical frustration as it was mental. Like being at such a high level, and then my ankle was pretty much like a brick on the ground. Like it wasn't working, and we're talking to my coaches, physio, and that, and we for the outer one, we just like, look, we're not 100%. It's pretty much throwing me as a lamb into a slaughter there. So it's not. So we made the decision, and we get to. It's not right. It's hurt. We need to prepare more. So and that's what we ended up doing, and now we're 10 days out from Kitt. Our times change.
Absolutely. You're a man who is no stranger to fighting. You're a man who loves to fight. How difficult was it to make that decision of we shouldn't go through with this fight?
It was probably one of the hardest decisions of my whole career, to be honest. As I said, I've been in this sport now for probably just over 10 years now, and I've never pulled from a fight before. So making that, I ended up reaching out out, and we had a little discussion and that, just out of respect. But yeah, definitely tough for me.
And was it an injury? Did you have to go under the knife?
Yeah. So when I first had snapped my syndesmosis, I went into surgery straight away, 2 weeks after, pretty much. It was actually a funny chain of events, because we had the fight, and then I got back to the doctor because there's always a doctor on fight nights, and I'm like, I've snapped my Achilles here, like my Achilles, because all the pain was in my Achilles. Went to Queensland Emergency. They told me there was no breaks or anything like that. They put me in a boot. And then by the time I got back to New South Wales, done me MRI scan on my ankle, seen a specialist. The specialist goes to me, this is 2 weeks after the fight. He goes, man, are you in extreme amount of pain right now? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm feeling a bit. And he goes, man, you need to go to emergency right now. We need to perform emergency surgery. And I ended up getting operated on within 24 hours of seeing him. And yeah, clean snap syndesmosis, and yeah, that was fun.
Oh, that sounds absolutely horrible.
Yeah, I know. I was walking around in a boot for 2 weeks after that fight, thinking, far out, I need some Panadol.
Yeah, it's maybe something a bit stronger than that.
Yeah,
Maybe a Panadol Ostia.
something.
um, did that's a serious injury. Obviously, you took it maybe better than most people. If he had to ask you, were you in incredible pain? Rushed off to emergency surgery. What was the recovery like?
So the doctor, which I should have listened to the doctor, who knew, told me it was like a minimum 12 months recovery, and I ended up taking that out of Bates fight right 12 months after. So my ego, and like I was keen to get back into the cage again. So that was probably another reason, bad mistake. But yeah, the recovery in that, there's a lot of physio work, a lot of training, a lot of squats, Mova squats, just yeah, a lot of single leg stuff, just to get build that strength back up, because it's like it's fused my ankle together. But yeah, it's all good now, ready to go.
Has it? Have you had to change how you train at all because of this injury?
Yes, yes, I have. That's the I did an interview recently, and I sort of let it out there. I'm not as much as um fighting it like I used to. Like I've sort of had to reinvent my style a little bit more. Like it's still a bit crazy, but it's a little bit different from when you last seen me. So, which I said before, it's Crazy Horse 2.0, which I'm really looking forward to showcasing it on November 23rd.
Obviously, not going into details of like game plans and such, but what has been the biggest change? What do you think people will notice is the biggest difference?
Oh man, everything. As I said, I don't want to give away the surprise, but I think everyone's going to like what they see.
A few
Or,
more. Oh, what's up?
or I might be fooling you, and I might be coming in normal.
Yeah, exactly. Gonna
I
run it.
might come out with a flying knee or something. Who
I was
knows?
just about to say, gonna run out and immediately throw something spinning just instantly.
Yeah,
I don't mean to harp too much on the time away. Two more on that, and then we'll move on from it.
yeah,
But
go for it.
but the game moves so quickly.
Yeah.
Uh, how has that been for you? Just to give people who don't know an example, and also just to kind of put it all in perspective. The last man you fought, Joseph Luciano. Since you guys have met, he has jumped ship to a different promotion, fought for another title, come back from a loss, had a Muay Thai fight, got signed to Bellator. The man he fought,
Right.
yeah, the man he fought, Jono McAuliffe, has won a title, lost the title, won a contender series fight, is now in the UFC, and you've had to be on the sidelines. How has that been to kind of see the division move quickly while you've been gone?
Mate, it's yeah, it's definitely been rough. I'd even go back one further with Kevin Jessett. Like I beat Kevin Jessett for the Eternal title, and then went on a win streak, and now he's in the UFC. Like when he got signed to the UFC, I was sitting on the lounge in a cast, And you know what? It's actually funny you say that. Like it's crazy how quick the local scene changed in that 18 months. So as I said, like it doesn't seem like a much, but it's a lot. And I don't know, man. Like it's you look at my record and that, and seeing all that sort of like gives me hope for like when I beat Kitt. What's that? What door's going to open there? Because looking at my record, you never know.
I remember, I think it was just after the Alden fight got announced. You made a post on your Instagram story. I remember it very like specifically. I can't remember the word that you used, but you talked about, I think you used the phrase, y'all must have forgotten.
Yeah, yeah,
Have you felt left out? Have you felt like people have forgotten how good you are?
yeah. I definitely at the start of my injury, I felt like I was it's crazy. Like you hear it all the time. Like everyone loves you when you're at this Everyone, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then like something happens and you lose and you're gone. Like it didn't make I never understood it until I had that injury. And that's why I did make that post. Because everyone, all the journalists and all that, like in the local scene, were talking about, oh, how good's Vale, how good's Luciano, how good's Jono, all this X Y Z, and then I'm like, well, did you forget about me? Like I've only just been out for a couple of months here, and yeah, yeah, it's good.
Are you a man who uses something like that as fuel?
Yeah, I can. I definitely can. I just use the fact that I love this sport too much to fucking as my fuel. But that definitely ignites it a bit more. Like in a sense, I can't wait for November 23rd because Kitt Campbell is this legend of this sport. He's, in my opinion, now that all this movement has happened in the sport and everyone's gone off and signed this and signed that, I feel like Kitt Campbell's at the top in this ladder at the moment, besides out of Bates. But is he going to get back down to 77 kilos? We don't know from his last one. So I feel like Kitt Campbell's at the top there, and then I feel like I'm also at the top. So seeing us two clash is going to be big for Australian mixed martial arts.
Making your return with that, feeling discounted. Is there something to prove going into this fight?
Oh, there's always something to prove. There's always something to prove. Like as a fighter, you always want to prove that you're the best. That's the sport. Our sport is literally beat down the other guy. So yeah, I've always got something to prove when I'm in the cage, and no matter what fight it is, I'm coming out to steal the show, whether I'm co-main event, main event, or whether I'm number one on the card. I'm gonna have the fans talking about me, and that's it.
You mentioned right there, you are the main event. You are the probably the last man to make the walk, one of the last two men to make the walk to the cage. Coming in from a layoff, was there any discussion of not jumping into a 5 round main event? Was there any opportunity to just take a 3 round fight?
Look, we had a couple. We had a couple offers. Three out of Bates that were a 3 round fight. Um, but the people that they offered me, it was sort of like a lose lose to me. Like they didn't really have any fights behind them. So like if I'm sort of going in there, if I beat them, it's like, well, you beat a bum, you in a sense, like so. And if you followed my career, you would know I don't take an easy fight. I want the hardest of the hard every single time. And yeah, so it just I think once again with my record, it just speaks for itself. Like that the fight just got offered to me. Like I think I got offered the Eternal one, and then stuff happened with Eternal, and then we're gonna go for the interim with Kit, and then obviously things happened with Hex and Alden, and then they just moved it to the full belt. So sweet, I'll take that. I'm not gonna argue with that.
Uh, when, as you said, you take it, you won't argue with it. What was like your teammates or coaches' reactions? Did they want you to come back straight into a 5 round fight?
Yeah, well, see, I feel like I get better in the third round. So 5 round fights are 5 round fights are the probably the best for me in a sense. The longer the fight goes, the better it's going to be for me. Like I would try and sanction a lock me and Kit in the cage and throw away the key and one of us come out. That'd be the fight to make.
I was fortunate enough to be in the building when this fight got announced. You and Kit squared off in the cage. There was an exchanging of words. There was a shove. Where is this energy coming from?
It's just you put two bloody top dogs in a cage in front of all these people, and you put a gold in front of us. Like you know, we just got to go for it. Like bloody oath. Like I'm going to be the champion, Kit, not you, mate. Deal with it.
You mentioned earlier he is a veteran of the game. He is a real staple of welterweight in Australia. Uh, what are your thoughts on Kit Campbell as a fighter?
Oh, mate, I respect him. Like I think he is, as I said, he's a legend in the sport, and I've gone out and on every statement that I made, he is a legend of the sport. His record is incredible. This man he's fought some of the best in Australia. And the crazy thing is, he hasn't died off. Like he's still very dangerous. Like you could put him in there with a fresh 18 hungry guy, and he would still hold up a fight. Like I'm not writing off Kitt whatsoever. So to beat Kitt with the rest of my record is going to be unreal.
Where does a victory over Kitt place you in welterweight in Australia?
Well, hopefully number one. But I don't know, man. I'll go wherever the wind takes me, mate. Honestly.
Uh, you're a man who I'll use the word notoriously doesn't cut weight. A man who will just walk into the cage and fight. We've talked about that before. Um, I realized recently, Kit is a big boy.
Yeah,
Kit's a
yeah,
big boy.
yeah. He's big. He's big.
Yeah.
He actually, you know what? He sort of fooled me at the start. So in that cage, I was like, fuck, I swear he wasn't this big. Like he wasn't this big. And then I rewatched the video. He's got like 30 layers of jackets on. I'm like, what the hell? He's got like 30 layers of jackets on, and he's got 6-inch stilettos on, those big Timberland fucking shoes. And I'm like, right, yo. So I don't, and then I'm standing there in a bloody pants and a shirt looking like an idiot. But yeah, no, he's still a big boy. So, but I've fought some of the biggest, like Ben Johnston. He's a nightmare. Like he's massive, 6'5". I think he was cutting from 93 kilos. He told me, and yeah, and I made quick work of him. So not the size.
How do you have that attitude? How is it to bring in that like confidence where like I saw Kitt Campbell standing next to Jimmy Crute recently and I'm like, there's not that big of a difference between these two.
I don't know. Let's see. Everyone thinks I'm a psychopath, but like
I think
I
everyone
don't
knows is what you mean. Everyone knows you're a psychopath.
know. Yeah, I don't know. I've never. To me, I think it's like an intimidation factor. Like people see like this big guy, and like they think that because they're smaller or something like that, that they're going to flog them, and it's half the case. Like it's I don't know. I think I was just when I was made, I just didn't get that intimidation factor. I just laugh and I never take anything serious, so I just have a joke with it.
This belt that you are fighting for is a vacant title. Uh, so it's not necessarily, well, maybe it is, but there isn't necessarily the satisfaction of taking it from someone, defeating the champion to become the champion. Does that sour it at all for you?
Not at all. A belt's a belt in my eyes. Like all my titles I've got, I think, were vacant. I think the Eternal one I got was vacant because Jack Della Maddalena had that one, and I think when I went for my amateur one too, that was vacant too. So yeah, no different than anything I've ever had before. So
Talking about vacant titles and a man's name you just dropped before, Ben Johnston announced his retirement from the sport. He was the Eternal Middleweight Champion. He leaves that belt vacant. Uh, you're a man who shared the cage with him. Just your kind of thoughts on him as a fighter in his career.
mate, he's a great fighter. Like I've looked at his career. Like obviously we had to study him. He's had an incredible, Muay Thai career. And he's mixed martial arts. Like everyone thought he was just going to come in and stand, and I think he ended up. Don't quote me on this. He got like 2 or 3 submissions or something like that. Like it's pretty good for a man that like is notorious for banging. A lot of respect to him. Like he's an unreal guy. There's no dirt I could ever throw on Ben Johnson. And yeah, sharing the cage. Like it was a 60-second fight. I caught him early because I could feel he's jitterous, like he was jittery and coming in. He wanted to come in, but I know that we could have really made a good banger. But I don't know whether see if it was his weight cut because I think I was his only welterweight fight before he made the move to middleweight. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure I was his only welterweight fight. So I don't know whether he had a problem with the cut and that, but no, if he's retiring, I'll man all the best. Congrats to his career, and I hope he can pass it on to all his students.
Maybe a further reason why weight cutting always isn't the beneficial thing to do in a
Uh,
situation.
Weight cutting shit. I jumped on the scales today, and I was 78 and a half kilos, and I go fucking hell. should I go to lightweight? Like, and then I thought about it and I went, nah, I have too much fun at welter.
um, we talked earlier about we mentioned earlier what a win over Kitt, where that places you. You're a man who said number one. One man who may have a problem with you staying that is Lachlan Stitt.
Nah.
Uh, how is Lockie?
Yeah, he's good, man. He's good. He's doing his own thing at the moment. He's gone up to Queensland at the moment just to spend some time with the family. But yeah, he's just plotting away doing his thing at the moment, living the dream up in the bloody Sunshine State.
How is he's a man who unfortunately couldn't fight due to an injury. How's his healing going?
Yeah, he had sort of similar problems with me. Like he's getting injured and then like he's coming back a little bit too early and then just like just doing just you know you know what I mean? Like he's just I don't know, he's all right.
A victory here over Kitt brings the Hex welterweight title to Triple X Academy. That will be an academy that will then have the Eternal welterweight title and the Hex one. What do you think that says about Triple X Academy?
Well, we got good fighters. No, I reckon it'll probably give a bit of recognition to our gym. Especially having Lachlan holding down the north coast and me holding down the south coast. I think it'll unlock more doors for Triple X, which will be good.
Uh, we've talked about this last time we spoke. It seems to be almost a theme of your career, going into enemy territory and fighting. Uh, you are fighting a Melbourne boy in Melbourne. How was it to come down and even do the face off when you're in the enemy territory? And how will it be again to fight someone in their hometown?
Oh, I love a Melbourne trip. Every time I come down to Melbourne, it's the same thing. The crowd hates me, they boo me, then I beat their fighter, sometimes on highlight reels, and I leave with my gold and they leave crying. So I love it. And it's going to be the same case here. I'm already getting copping all the heckling and all that from Melbourne. So it's gonna be even sweeter when I post that first story of me holding that belt completely naked.
Are you expecting another highlight reel finish?
Uh I would love a highlight reel finish on Kit. Like I really would. But I think I'm preparing for the distance. Like this, it's either going to go one or one. Kit said it. It's either going to go one or two ways. It's either going to go in that first round or 5 rounds of just death.
Will that story post that you make be out the back of the Melbourne Pavilion? Will you just strip off instantly?
Yeah, of course. I'll be naked in the cage with the belt around my shoulders.
Oh, awesome.
My little white ass is bloody catching the camera.
The post-fight interview that we have will be very interesting in that case.
Oh yeah, definitely.
um, you're a man who obviously has a fighter at heart, but there is the life outside of it. How is the family? How is your daughter?
Oh, unreal. She's 2 in a couple of days now. And yeah, me and my fiance, we're bloody scraping all the money together. We're getting married in February. So yeah, man, it's unreal. Between work, fight, and family, man, that's all I got time for.
Congratulations on the upcoming wedding. Is it going to be a big affair, small affair? How is it going to be?
Oh God, we only wanted bloody 80 people there, but we've blown out to like 95 now. So Jesus Christ, these are our weddings go.
How does one decide who gets the invite and who doesn't?
That's a fight to the death. Last man standing sort of thing. Nah. Obviously, family and close friends.
Will do you think your fiance, soon to be wife, would allow you to maybe walk down the aisle with the belt? Will you have the belt at your wedding?
I'll have a lot of belts, hopefully, on my shoulders walking down. So it'll be yeah, hopefully.
Would your fiance be okay with that?
I hope so. It'll be a rude shock when she sees me down there with it.
She better be. She's lucky that you're not naked with just the belt.
Oh God, that's the problem. I don't want to start.
Will they be making the track down for the fight?
What's that? No, my fiance, yeah, she's come down, but the little one's going to stay up here this time.
That's fair. Hey, it's weird sometimes. Yeah. Are you a man who one day do you think you'll ever be able to bring your kids to your fights, or is it like no, they stay at home?
No, well, Jada she come to the my Luciano fight. And I wanted to bring her down to the Melbourne fight too, but I just thought, you know what, we'll just have a night away. Like we're parents 24/7, so a night off would be perfect.
Uh, Kit may have had the right idea bringing the 30 jackets. Melbourne can be very cold. Are you getting a chance to hang out in Melbourne after the fight?
Yeah, well, I think we'll be at Road to Hex the next day. We've got two of our boys, Isaac and Flynn are fighting. So yeah, we'll be there supporting the Triple X crew down there too.
Will you be in the corner for that or in the crowd?
I'll be in the corner, butt naked with my belt.
I'm gonna hold you to that. How do you find the cornering compared to fighting? How do you like being in the corner?
Oh yeah, I don't mind the corner. If anything, it's sort of I'm actually more. This might be sound funny. I am more stressed out in the corner than I am for my fights because like with my fights, I'm just like I'm fighting. Like I can control the outcome and this and that. But when I'm cornering, like I remember my best mate made his terrible career in Muay Thai, and when I was cornering him, oh mate, the anxiety and stress I would have, I'm just like, just hit him and don't get hit.
I,
Yeah, no.
I bet he'll love that you've said that.
Yeah, he's 0-2 and he's shit.
Ben, does he still train?
Yeah, you know what? This is actually funny. He trains a fair bit at our gym. And he's probably one of the top boys in the gym that actually give me a run for the money. So he's unreal. In the gym, he gives vlogs me sometimes. Like he's unreal, but as soon as he steps in the ring, he just turns into a little bitch. That's also the best man at my wedding.
Well, I hope he sees this footage, and I hope the next sparring session he acts accordingly.
Oh no, he knows. He knows. I tell him every day.
You say it to his face.
To his face. He's 0-2 in my phone.
That's hilarious. Talking about sparring and such, we're 10 days out from the fight at the time of recording. What does between now and the fight look like for you?
Yeah, man, it's all pad work, wrestling, bit of technique. We've done our hard sparring through our camp. And yeah, we're locked and loaded, ready to go.
When will you be coming down to Melbourne?
We fly down Thursday morning, so if Kit wants to meet me at the airport, he can. But yeah, Thursday morning, then we've got the press conference Thursday night, and etc.
How are you? How do you feel about the press conferences and all that?
Yeah, yeah, good. It's gonna be fun. I've never done one before. Like I've done a lot of podcasts, obviously, and interviews like this. But yeah, the press conference will be good. I feel like everyone was sort of like get to see me a little bit, like my personality a bit more. So it'll be good.
As a teammate of Kit, I can't remember who, Ricky Beechin said to me the other day. He said, "I saw yourself and Kit go back and forth," and he's like, "I have to admit, Kaleb is a funny guy."
Yeah, that's what I mean. So like, I try and as I said to you before, I'm very, very hard. I don't know what it is to me. I don't take things too serious. So like talking like this, like I'm sort of like semi-serious and all that type of stuff. But like when Kit was in front of me and that, I sort of was like 90% myself. So I was just chatting shit the whole time. So I'm sort of really looking forward to the press conference because that's my personality. Like I'm just do what I need to do. Have a laugh, have a punch on, and yeah.
Then go for a beer after.
Oh, 100%. I'm down for that.
Of it, like part of that is kind of just you, like as a
Yeah.
person. I feel like you could have a laugh with anyone that was standing across from you. But do you think maybe in a different life you and Kit maybe could have been friends?
I think we are friends, but he just doesn't want to admit it. But yeah, no, it's just we're fighting each other at the moment, so this is business. Like we're fighting. Um, After this fight, we'll talk about the friendship, but I think he'd want to be my friend. I want to be my friend.
Well, the way you save people as 0 and 2 in your phone, I'm sure heaps of people are lining up to be your friend.
Yeah, that's my best friend.
uh,
That's why I saved kid in my phone as could have had the belt, but didn't.
no. Oh my gosh. Talking about that and the future, not to talk about looking through Mr. Kitt Campbell, but what what do you see the future holding for yourself? There's kind of time. There's kind of a little bit of lost time to be made up for. Uh, as the dust settles on the welterweight division, there is a vacant title, and then there is a teammate of yours who holds the other belt. What is kind of your roadmap going forward?
As much as Kit likes to think I've looked past him, we actually haven't looked past him. We're focused on Kit at this time. But sitting here thinking about it now, um, whatever, as I said, whatever the wind takes me, like whether we go international, like we know UFC's coming in February, so I don't know if there's pull out, they'll throw me in there, um, or another fight in Hex defending the title. Like there's so many. Beating Kit will open up so many doors. Like you've seen what happened with Jono when he beat Bale. Like Bale's sort of like the New Zealand Kit. Like the record's unbelievable and all that. Jono had the belt. He beat him. He got the contender series. So you never know. Whatever comes up, I'll take, and I'll be ready to take it.
Kaleb, it's so good to talk to you again. I thank you so much for the time. The Australian MMA scene is very happy to have you back. We look forward to seeing you fight again. I've already asked kind of what lays between now and the fight, but what does the rest of tonight look like?
For the rest of the night, I'm probably just going to go put my daughter to bed, feed the horses, and then I am going to cuddle up to the missus and watch a movie.
You
Pretty
are
normal.
you are on the farm. I forget that you live on like a farm.
Yeah.
How is that? How does balancing the farm life and the fight life?
No, it's all right. See, the missus looks after most of that. So when I'm in fight camp, I'm just 100% focused on training and fighting and that, and I sort of like push that out to the side. But when I'm not in fight camp and I've got a bit more flexibility, like I help around and all that. Well, I say I help around, but
What movie will you be watching tonight?
who knows? Whatever she picks.
Kaleb, I thank you so much for the time. Safe travels to Melbourne. I will see you at the press conference. Best of luck in the fight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good to be.